Yo, we've been live for this whole time.
I saw in the corner. I'm like, we got the countback clock, so that means they probably heard us.
Well, as usual, caught with our pants down. Or what?
You really have to tell me this off the air. What's up, everybody? We're back. We are about a little bit over a month away from our 10th anniversary. What's up? This is Hiram.
BK.
Michael Chiklis.
Flew in from LA. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you. I feel out of shape, man. I used to be like strapping. You know, when I was in the, what was I, in the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
That's right.
And before that, the commish.
Well, he wasn't in good shape in the commission. Sorry, Michael. No offense.
Guys, we are in great shape. We are round. That's a beautiful shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, 10th anniversary, buddy, and we have a lot of great news today.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
By the way, before we get started, what are we drinking, Brian?
Right now, we're having Superhero Sidekicks, a hazy IPA from Kings County Brewers Collective,
KCBC.
KCBC, which can be found at your local Wegmans. But I did go to this particular brewery because my friend here had a beer in Manhattan on tap.
Right.
Was knock your socks off great, right? So I decided, hey,
Wow.
let me see, because I want to find out where this place is. It's about a mile away from the cemetery that I have to take my mom to
Oh,
every year. It's a pilgrimage to
Right.
right around Christmas. She wants to go.
So now
say
Brian
something.
goes to the cemetery.
right. It's like pays respects and has a drink.
So my 83-year-old mom and I
God love her.
went to the cemetery. We paid our respects. We put a wreath down, the
Right.
whole thing, and then we went there. And then right after we went here, we drove over to a part of Brooklyn where Other Half is on Center Street, and I guess kind of Red Hook section or somewhere around there, and had we were just having wee beers.
Yeah,
We
getting a little
knocking
sampler,
Yeah, we weren't knocking them back. But this was a great experience. It was a great find. Thank you.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
nice.
so cool to know that that was so close, and
It's a very smooth beer. That's
Yes,
one thing
it is.
I noticed that right away.
Very
Very
tasty.
smooth beer. I like that.
cheers to that.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Before we begin, also, I want to send big shout outs. I know that this is not normally done, but we do this all the time. To our engineer, Connor, first time we met him. Seems
Cheers,
like
lad. Cheers.
a really upstanding young gentleman, and God bless you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
And way to stay sober behind the wheel, sir. We appreciate
Somebody
it.
has to.
Yeah, really.
Well, I'm designated driver today, so enjoy yourself.
Yes. Have the run of the mill, BK. Enjoy this.
So for anyone that does not know, we are the Hang On to Your Shorts Film Festival.
This is
We
our podcast. If you haven't checked it out,
You can find us on Instagram and on Twitter, by the way. Be one of the you're approaching like almost 1,000 followers on Twitter.
yes,
so,
I run the Twitter, and I love Twitter.
I'm an Instagram man myself.
There you go. Got both bases covered.
I go both ways, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, but if you go on
Thank you.
Instagram, you'll see photos from past Hang On to Your Short Film festivals. So it really gives you an idea of what the festival's been about as they get ready for number 10 very
Yes.
soon.
The Jersey Shore has, a lot of great film fests,
Very true.
Yes.
Right now, they have this Mud Castle Film Fest.
Garden State was just in
Garden
town
State
last
just finished,
week.
Garden State's sort of become the king of all this. I mean, 21 years? God love them for what they've done. And really putting Jersey films on the map.
Yes.
And they continue to bring in the celebrities they need to bring in. They got a great board of directors. I think I've interviewed at least 3 of them, which is great.
Joe Cernio.
Joe Cernio and now Siobhan Fallon Hogan.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh, I didn't realize she was on the.
Yeah, I think this is year 2 now for her on the board, which is great.
Which is a wonderful thing, and you know what? Because the Jersey Shore is the Jersey Shore, and because we are New Jersey, and on the down low, and maybe not so much on the down low, this state is just rife with all sorts of art, music,
Right.
film. There is enough room for everyone, and Hang On to Your Shorts is just a niche, amazing, wonderful little film fest at beautiful Asbury Park, and we do this in early May, which is beautiful weather for Asbury Park.
Absolutely.
Except for that one year we had a hurricane, but whatever. Yes.
I think I was hosting that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Pre-COVID.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
But we are getting ready, and we're very excited. We have announcements, later on in the show.
Right.
But today we're going to give love to the people that make it happen. A Shared Universe Podcast Studios.
Truly.
Yeah.
But also our sponsors. So
Yes. Oh, yeah. So our sponsors, thank God for them. Well, I don't want to just rattle them off, but I will if I have to.
We go one by one.
Yeah, basically, the bread and butter of this of not just this podcast, but the money that comes in for the film festival has been for a long time generally just. I'm getting a phone call. This is
Whoever you are, you have
Right.
wonderful
So,
timing.
yes, thank you. Smith Group. Smith Group is the group responsible for supporting this podcast. Probably, I want to say since day one. I know they've been with us for at least 9-10 years, and that's been phenomenal. And the people over there have continued to support us, even when we were streaming, which was a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
So the Smith Group is consisting of, excuse me, another good time to clear my throat.
There you
Yes.
go.
Is
Homesick.
Lovesick, which is right next door to Homesick, which
Mm-hmm.
we would probably, I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to probably say it again later, is where we're going to have a networking party, kind of a cocktail, like wine. It's because Lovesick is a wine bar. It doesn't just have wine, but a very cool vibe there, very cool and funky place, which is right next door to Homesick.
Right.
So Homesick, Lovesick,
A wine bar.
which is a wine bar.
Located on Cookman Avenue in Asbury Park.
Located on Cookman Avenue, both of them right next door to one another.
Right.
Pascal and Sabine, which I believe is on Matson Avenue,
2 blocks over.
2 blocks over, which is a wonderful restaurant. One of my favorite in Asbury Park besides Homesick.
Also great cocktails and whiskey.
Yes, high-end stuff, good French/American food, and Porta, which is their flagship place for pizza
Right.
and all things wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's where our
Award
award
ceremony will
is.
be held.
Right. And then we've also got Casa de Monte Cristo, which is our cigar company that's supporting us, which they came in last year, and were phenomenal. People walked away with a cigar each, and I think everybody was really happy with that.
I
River
think
Street
this
Sweets-
year.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to sample them. Maybe.
Yes.
Hey,
I think
nice.
there may be some sampling going on. There may also be cutting and lighting demonstration
Right.
outside of Porta, where people will be able to probably have a stogie if they want to have a smoke.
Yes.
So that would be a cool thing. River Street Sweets, which Savannah Candy Kitchen, which is also on Cookman Avenue. Great place. It's like Willy Wonka's factory, man. It's like crazy over there. It's just
They just opened up, I think, within the last year or two, if I'm not mistaken, right?
couple years. I
Couple of
think.
years ago, yeah.
I'm not sure if they were there before COVID, but I'll have to get the lowdown on that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and they've just been wonderful. They gave us little statuettes last year of Oscars made out of chocolate, which was super cool.
Nice.
So anybody who did not get an award last year, and we were kind of sans awards last year because ran into some glitches, but that was a great thing to have, and people were like
Sure.
crazy about it. We also have, I believe, one of the banks involved with us is Middletown Savings. I'm not sure.
Well, that's who's paying me. Well, now I get it. Okay.
Middletown.
yeah, I'm not-
Were they investors before?
no, they were investors before. Now, actually, it's Citizens Bank, mainly in Middletown and Deal branches, and Heritage House, Sotheby's, which is a real estate company, and a shared universe podcast studio,
There you go.
which we were going to hold their feet to the fire to sponsor us. Yes.
Yeah, we have also a couple of other new sponsors that are coming in. As soon as we
Yes.
verify them,
Right.
we will talk to them. But those are going to be the people that are going to help us bring you guys a wonderful experience as best
Yes.
as we can.
Yes.
Networking event and other goodies and treats as the festival goes on.
Yes, which we're really looking forward to. Big Ten, the Big Ten.
All the details they can find on the website.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
They will be
We're
able
keeping
to
it close
find.
the vest a little bit. Right?
Yes,
Right
but
now,
we.
yes, we're-
This is why we're here today, actually, because we want to, I guess, tease for lack of a
Yeah,
better term.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thursday or Friday of next week, stay with us on social media. We're going to be announcing the nominees for awards.
There you go.
What?
Yes.
The awards? The
Yes,
nominees?
the awards.
Time
The
flies,
reason why we've been meeting and watching movies.
Next week is April. I mean, we're already like 1/3 through the year. I mean,
Oh my,
wow.
yo, that's crazy.
I know.
Yes.
But
so
I mean, it's a fun time. I mean, to give you an idea of the work that goes into this, I mean, Hiram and BK watch hours upon hours. I mean, when you start adding up every film, I mean, it is a task that takes at least a week because it's like you're sitting down, you're watching probably about 30 to 40 a day. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to take a break, but it's a lot going on, and it is not the easiest process because it's like behind the scenes you're going to have some discussions. You got to say, here's the hard part: we've got hundreds upon hundreds and thousands of people submitting work, and you're cutting it down to this minute number, and that is probably one of the hardest things to do at any festival. I don't care what size the festival is; you're still trying to trim this down to, okay, these are the ones we're going to showcase, and these are the ones that have earned nominations. So it's a lot of work, and that's what a lot of people may or may not realize, the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on to really create this festival at every level, from the sponsors, from the events you're going to have that weekend, and leading up to it, which is what we're talking about right now.
Yes, the soul searching, because we really feel responsible to the local creators and artists.
Yeah.
And whenever possible, we really try to accommodate as many of those. And we get a lot of wonderful and amazing art from across the states and international art.
The international stuff has blown me away over the years.
Oh
I mean,
my
where
gosh.
you've got stuff, I think you had one from Iceland, I remember, and I was like, oh, this was good. Wait a minute. Like, you don't expect it.
Right.
And it's interesting how the foreign countries and these foreign lands are finding out about the festival, and it's got to make you guys feel good.
Oh, sure.
Because it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe in year 1 nobody knew. Now by year 10, at least we got a little bit more of a global name, which is a great thing.
And we found in a very interesting way that sometimes the international aesthetic
Yes.
is very different than the
Oh, yeah.
American
Oh, yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah.
Oh,
we had one from Denmark, I think it was, which was just...
Oh, Rob, you have to see this.
I probably have.
I'll
to.
share. No,
Please do.
I'll
Please
share the
do.
name. I'll share the
Yeah,
name.
you have to
Okay.
look it up. But we don't do this in a vacuum. I mean, he and I are watching stuff and we're purveying stuff and taking a look at, nominations and stuff like that. But we've got like a pack of 10 people who or more who
Exactly.
are really kind of filtering stuff in and saying, thumbs up, thumbs down. This is good, not good. And look, we also once we get those things, we have to filter that down into sets and times and stuff like that. So
Right.
when things come in, they can come in October and we can get the film right away. Or right now we just opened the gate not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we're now waiting on a handful of other films, so that we can start crafting the sets, and
Sure.
Right.
we will be reaching out to those people
Right.
within the next 24 to 36 hours because we need the films like yesterday.
Enough said. Now, as far as the days of the screening, do we have the locations yet of where the screenings are going to be?
Yes.
Okay.
The showroom on Cookman Avenue.
Yes. Now, we have Porta.
Mm-hmm.
And we love Porta, and we've shown a lot of great movies over the years at
Right.
Porta. Maybe I'm mistaken in feeling this, but as an actor myself, I know that whenever our director creates a film, it is intended to be seen in a movie theater.
Sure.
So sometimes it's necessary to have different screening locations. Understood.
Well, having the place on Cookman Avenue, I think, is a fantastic thing. I mean,
Yes.
it's a top-notch art house place.
Yeah.
It has gotten some of the, let's put it this way, during Oscar season, you're seeing a lot of films that are not coming out in massive, but you'll find it there.
Yeah.
That's their niche.
Yeah.
They're very good at it, and I give them all the props in the world.
Right.
Yes, and it's a private event, so
Yeah.
Right.
it opens the door to a lot of fun too.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have 3 screens. They have one kind of like micro room upstairs. They have a smaller room and then a larger room downstairs. But it is a beautiful,
It's
very
a cool-
well
cool
maintained,
little
beautiful.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
place.
people there that work there who got us back off of online last year, because last year was our first year back
In person.
In person, right.
That was phenomenal. I think they, you were over there the whole time. I was over at Porta because back then, or last year, we had Porta as our backup, or basically what we were doing before COVID was we'd show films all day at Porta and we'd show films all day at
At another
showroom.
location, showroom
Right.
or other
Or,
places.
or
yes.
other places, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Because I guess there were a year or two there where we were showing it like House of Independence.
Yeah, I remember
Yes.
the House of
Or-
Independence for a while.
other
dude.
places.
Yeah.
So for the most part, we try to keep it, strictly Cookman Avenue, strictly, that whole Asbury vibe, and they've been great to us. I mean, we filled a void where the Garden State Film Festival had been, and then they left and moved down to I think it was Atlantic City and maybe some other places,
Right.
and then we kind of filled that void in Asbury Park, and now, I mean, we're not in competition or anything like that. We do what we do, and they do what they do. But at the end of the day, it's nice to have them back in the area because it's always,
Absolutely.
it's great to kind of stir the pot of creativity.
And there is some crossover. I've seen some
Yeah.
of their programs and some of the movies that they have. We're going to have, and
Yeah.
and vice versa. Films that we've had, I've seen there. So that's a wonderful and beautiful thing.
Right.
You know, I just want to see also. You spoke about Casa de Monte Cristo,
Yeah.
and you talked about Homesick.
They were cool, man. They gave out cigars last year. Now, we didn't really have, we didn't have a particular place to smoke or anything like that, but this year we should have like an outside spot.
There you go.
They were just really cool people to hang out with, and I can't wait to maybe head up there at some point in time. I'm not certain exactly where it is in New Jersey. I know it's in New Jersey, but want to head over to their cigar bar.
They've come to us. Now we
Yeah.
have to go to them.
Yes, that's true. Yes, very cool.
I will admit that last year I got my freebie stogie. However, they have locations in Paramus,
There you
in
go,
Whippany,
Mhm.
and New York City.
Right.
So that is, at least 3. Oh, they have a location in Dallas also. So,
Hey, they're coming here, which is a nice thing.
Right.
yeah, so that is a wonderful thing. Last year I gave away mine. Now I do not advocate, for smoking or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but just because you enjoy that, once or twice doesn't mean, anything.
Right.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Dates, we are May what?
So
May
May 7th is the festival itself.
There we go.
We're kicking it off. But May 6th, as we stand right now, and I don't have frames, because I still got to firm them up with Andrew Riley, Andrew O'Reilly over at Lovesick. But I do believe that's where we're going to be having our kickoff party.
There you go.
Saturday night, the night before. So looking forward to that because that's going to be fun. It's a very cool place.
Right.
We met.
It's
with,
a wine bar, and
yeah.
the last time we were there, they actually brought us, one of their niche
Whiskeys.
spirits, whiskeys.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
freaking
yeah.
wonderful.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they have a whiskey. I think it's made by Penelope, and they have it specially made for
For the Smith Group.
the Smith Group, yeah, which is
Nice.
kind of cool. Which the other thing too is Carton also has for Homesick, Pascal and Sabine, Porta, and Lovesick as well. I think.
What is the name of their beer? Carton.
Smith sauce.
Smith sauce.
Smith sauce.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's
That's
just
different.
for
Yeah, I like that.
just for the Smith Group.
The Smith Group.
So I don't
Nice.
think you can get it anywhere else. So it's kind of cool. And
Keep
it's
those
a great beer.
Yeah, keep those dates in mind, even if you're
Yeah.
not a film in the film festival and you want to see first run stuff, short films ranging from like a minute and a half up to
Right.
about 20 minutes.
Actually, yeah, we have a couple that are like in the 30-something minute range. And
And I think that's the difference between you and some of the other short film festivals. You don't put a cap on it per se.
Right.
And then,
well, we say 40 minutes, and let's be real. It's very difficult
Very.
to program a 40-minute short film
yes,
when there's like 3 or 4 10-minute films.
Sure.
right.
By many creators too. But
And that's another
Some-
part of the process that try to piece this all together when you're trying to get what you want together, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, if I get a 2-minute here, I got a 12-minute here, and maybe a 3-minute there, maybe I can fit the 30 here, and
Yes.
it really is a jigsaw puzzle.
short form, long form, and you know what? They're just great art.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I have to throw shout outs out
Sure.
Sure.
there. Gray Machine Films.
Yes.
Mark Klauberg and all those people. We were joking, over the week when we were hanging out that we sometimes don't watch the Gray Machine films right away. Not because we don't care, but because we know
It's going to be good.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's like, okay, we need to make time. We have to check all these other ones because we know this one's going to be good.
There you go.
Right.
So there's something wrong with Paul. It's the latest one. Holy heck.
Yeah. Yeah, it pulls you in, man, and you're like
Right
oh,
away,
yeah.
right away. They're masters of like, keeping it in the sweet spot of like around 15 minutes
Mhm.
and crafting a thorough story. The acting is exceptional.
Yes.
That's going to be one of the films that's going to be nominated for a lot of things because they're just great.
There
yes.
you go.
Yes.
Not the only one. That
Mhm.
We've had a lot of great,
Yeah.
but
Really good work, and that's really kind of where this is coming from. It's we accept a lot of things, and then there's also things that we have to dial in, and things that we can't accept, or it doesn't mean that it wasn't good, but
Well said.
like being impartial is about having more eyes on it.
Yes.
And that's why we have 10 or more people looking at it, and then kind of bring that down to, how many minutes we can afford and stuff like that. And who's going to show
And let's
up.
be honest, sometimes there is, we often laugh about this because we were all very familiar with this, the conflict.
Yes, yeah.
If you're talking about like all of a sudden 10 of us will see the film and it's 5 on one side and 5 on the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does happen at times.
Yeah, right.
And when you have a bunch of different eyes, there's going to be moments where you're sitting there kind of going, all right, but then this is where the debates come in. And this is where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're getting down to the last few. And that's where the split votes really
Right.
kind of make it.
Well, you've been there.
Oh, I know,
You've
exactly.
been in the room with us trying to watch what we were
It ain't-
watching and kind of coming up with like, okay, why?
I
would
will
you
tell
want
you,
that?
I can tell you, when 6 of us in a room and you get a 3-3 going, it turns into, okay, we've just stopped watching and we've turned it into a 15-minute debate about one film.
Right.
It does happen
Yeah.
because you want the best product. And that's what this film festival has always been about, trying to bring the best films to light. And look, every film has merit. It's subjective. It's a hard decision. And doing it that one year, I was like, oh my God. Because
Right.
you're sapped. You really are
And
sapped
don't
going
want
through
to talk politics because that's a sensitive and sore subject to some people.
Right.
Some people in the 2023. That being said, though, if Congress and the United States government only worked the way film festivals work sometimes, where it's like, okay,
Accepting
we're not
certain
we're
things.
not going to emerge from this room happy.
No.
Right.
I will accept defeat in concession in this film, but you got to give me this one.
Right. It's there is a compromise. No, and I think that's the thing. Every set of eyes are going to see things differently. Where one person thinks it's the greatest thing they've ever seen, and you're starting to look at them. What are you seeing? And that's the thing. It's a discussion. It's not like it's.
Right.
But you're
That's what's
sapped
cool.
after because what am I not seeing? Why do you see this and I don't? And that's the interesting thing about art and film.
Yes.
That we're all going to see some things very different.
Another great film. It was submitted as a music video.
Which was odd.
Yes,
Because I know what
but
you're talking about.
you knew exactly. It was just. It's not
phenomenal.
very long. It's only 3 minutes and 52 seconds. It is called
Mm-hmm.
An Interracial Couple in a Cheerios Ad.
And it's a music video? Wait a minute.
Well, it's hilarious. It's hilarious and really, really well done. I mean, really well done. And just on point with the acting, on point with the music, on point with the singing. It's just
It hits the right notes.
Yes, the director Christine Lakin. I mean, she's been involved in a lot of well-known shows. The Goldbergs, High School Musical. She's voiced multiple roles on Family Guy and in the Cartoon Network. You know what? And then she hits us with this. And even though it's 3 minutes and 52 seconds, large cast, very well acted.
But it's timely too.
Yeah.
When you think
Oh my
about the
gosh.
title and you think about how advertising is going today,
Right.
and I'm not trying to get political.
well, that's exactly.
That's exactly
the
what it
film's
is.
Getting political.
But it hits the notes. It hits it
sure.
right on the button in 2023. So credit to her for that because
Yeah.
it really is that. The title says it all. Then you create this thing and it's like going, I get her vision. I
Yeah.
understand it. Yeah.
and it's funny as hell.
Yeah,
Really funny.
exactly.
Really funny. Well done.
Yes. Well, as I'm going over some of the movies that we're talking about, what are we drinking now?
Oh, right now we are imbibing something that Hiram had picked up the other night. Mega Yacht Juice.
Right.
By our friends.
Our friends over at Icarus, yes. They had been at the festival a bunch of years ago, pre-COVID, because everything is now pre or post COVID, or at least in my head. And they had dropped off some stuff to us. They had showed up. Shane had showed up, who is, I guess, really kind of like one of the top people over there. I mean, and he had dropped some product on us and showed up for the film festival, and it was just great having him there a couple years ago. But we continue to support Icarus, first of all, because really great stuff. I mean, they're just quality stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my guys over at Other Half in Brooklyn, making great stuff. And Kane, don't get me wrong. But these
And
guys.
Ross.
And Ross,
John
right,
Ross,
right.
oh my
John
gosh.
Ross Kokoza over at Ross Brewing.
He was at
Yeah,
Yankee Stadium
Ross.
today.
He was at Yankee Stadium. I
Yes.
thought there was some other place he was. I don't know where he was, but he's always
He's always
somewhere.
somewhere. Oh no, Ming was in Chicago.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
right,
he was
okay.
in front of Wrigley
He was in
Field.
Wrigley Field.
That
So
this is-
bastard. That's all I'm going to say.
This is a quadruple IPA at 12%. but it's beautifully done, beautifully done. And
Yes.
of course we did have when we were at the studio in Red Bank, probably about a month or so ago, we had some really good
The carton, the horchata beer, I forgot what it was called,
which
yeah.
was really nice.
It was delicious.
Yeah. So,
Well, another, we have so many films we got to talk about. I don't know if you recall seeing Dumb in an Elevator.
Yes.
By Joe Torito. Oh, it is 1 minute and 58 seconds of hilarity.
There you go.
right.
And we need those films. We need
Yeah,
those films.
yeah.
Many times short films tend to delve into very deep and emotional topics. There's something wrong with Paul.
Yeah, right. That's-
So many.
Is you're trying to find the balance. That's what it is. You're trying to find a balance of, we want to be hit emotionally, but sometimes you do need a good laugh to go along with it. So, for every 2 dramas, you're good. And that's the other part of the layering that you were talking about earlier. How to layer it where it's like, okay, we're going to take an emotional, now we're going to make you laugh a little bit. Then we're going to, and
It's finding out
that's
the sets, the sweet spot of the sets.
exactly.
And,
Well said.
and the reality here is one of my favorite parts of this festival is the short shorts. Of course, I love short shorts.
For anybody who doesn't know, define
Who does not like short shorts?
define a short short for anybody who doesn't know.
5 minutes or less.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love all the films that are coming in. We've got some really creative people and ways of spinning stuff, and things that you start off watching, and then we had, what was it? Johnny Cruz was on the festival
Yes.
podcast.
He did Upon Reflection.
Yes,
And,
and another film that we're showing.
Shadowtown.
Shadowtown.
Yes.
So we want to support as many people as we can, especially the people in this area. But we love movies, so we love films. So
Yes, well, another great film that we have is called The Decision, directed by Anthony Carvello, submitted by Chris Omar. I'll read to you the quick blurb. It says, sometimes these things are written beautifully, sometimes not so much, but whatever. It says, while behind bars, a mafioso hitman finds himself fighting for his freedom and his dignity as his boss pushes him to take the fall for every ruthless act they have committed in tandem. Who are the protagonists in this film? None other than John Gotti and Sammy the Bull Gravano.
right. So yeah.
Once again, very well cast,
Right.
very well acted.
That was one of the movies we saw early on. I remember watching
Yes.
that right when it came in the queue, which was a while ago. But yeah, so
Yes. We also have, and we're not going to get too much into them today because one of our upcoming guests is going to talk about them in depth. But we have a lot of great student films
yes.
also.
Sure.
Yes.
And that's become very important for this festival. You've given a lot of the young kids the opportunity, really their first opportunities,
Yes.
to showcase their talent. And some of them have actually already gone on to better things in college and advancing their careers in the industry itself.
Yeah, one student that I remember who always submitted amazing work, and actually she was involved in There's Something Wrong with Paul, Yasmin Yilmaz, who was actually one of Chris Cullen's proteges.
Right.
Amazing and very talented actors. Heard some people that have come into our podcast at times talk about working with her in college.
Right.
So she's going to be a name that's going to be heard often.
Sure.
Student films are very, very they're interesting to choose because obviously they're students.
Well, now we don't have a day. Now they're mixed in with everybody else, so they've got to fight.
Oh, great. The pressure's on me to get this thing done so they can make the train home. Oh, my.
Yeah,
Great,
so they're mixed
exactly.
in. Yeah,
I
they're
will
mixed
tell
in.
you that mixing that in just made my job 1,000 times harder because it's like hosting the event is a lot of fun. I will say that for the few times I've done it. But now you're giving me and it'll literally be like, I swear to you, you'll make your 1018 train, I swear.
Well, even bigger is you cannot swear.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, yeah, that's a good point. I can't. Oh.
No. It's fine.
I'm sorry. I just saw myself in the screen and that's I remember that I was wearing my Yankees jersey. I have a pinstripe one, but my son AJ, who got it for Christmas, I said to him, I'm like, hey buddy, why don't we go twinning to school today? And he says to me, he goes, no dad, we're gonna save those for when we go to Yankee Stadium.
Yes,
Okay,
because you're
okay.
going when?
We're going to June. He got
Nice.
tickets for for Christmas
Nice.
from his uncle Theo Joey. But hope to go again. I hope to this year finally make it to Citi Field.
Yes.
There you go.
Never been there.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
I have not. I have not.
I've got one wish, and it's been 23 years in the making, and it can actually happen with both of these teams. Give us the Subway Series. We want it. It's time. It's time. Mets, Yankees in the big game.
Yes, and even though Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole and Gleyber Torres were the stars of the day today I'm sporting a jersey from legendary Alfonso
So Soriano. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, you got to.
Meanwhile, as the resident Mets fan, I will tell you this much. We're already doing a lot of pain and suffering. I mean, when we found out the news that, our big investment is already on the disabled list, thanks a lot, Verlander. Really, thank you. You come to them. See, this is the thing.
Verlander's on IL?
Yeah, already.
Oh, I did not
See,
know that.
Jets and Mets fans, we know two things really well: pain and suffering. And we'll get to 100 wins. We'll find a way to screw it up. I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm saying we got to get the Subway Series. You got to do it.
Right.
But I digress.
Yes, and yes, and it would be cool to get over to Citi Field. I would love to check it out. I know I heard they have McKellar beer over there.
Yeah.
As well as a couple of other little fine dandy things that you can do while you're at the park,
Very
as well as see a great game, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Just a reminder, May 6th, May 7th, those are the dates. You see our website right there, hangup2yourshortsfilmfestival.com. Keep that in mind because after we're done here, sometime in the next week, all the details that you need to know as far as the festival, the scheduling and everything like that, you'll find it on the website, and we look forward for you coming out here and enjoying the films and enjoying the festival with us.
Yes, the awards are going to come by before the sets because, like I said, we're still working on getting some films.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have to have people send. They send them, but then they have to send them in a certain format, or
Right.
we have to reformat them once they come in. So sometimes people are slow on the uptake for that. But the other thing too is we're waiting for not just some people to send stuff. What else are we waiting for?
No, just for people to send us
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
That's
And-
it? Okay.
Yes, and the next time we meet, we're going to have information on who is being nominated for the awards. We can't tell people who wins. We have to wait till the award ceremony for that.
Yeah, which will be at Porta
Yes.
Right.
on that Sunday, and we only have it now from 5 to 9.
Okay.
So it kind
Good
of
to know.
slims things down. We're hoping to have a few special guests, you being one of them.
Well, I'm there for the. I'm hosting it. I'm there for the duration.
Now
Jeez.
now it's not so much a secret, but
No, it's like hosted by 95.9 The Rats, Rob Akampora. Hi.
And possibly other
formerly
guests.
of
Gee.
HTG 1063.
And
Yes.
possibly another guest.
We're hoping.
So
Yeah. I wish I had more
Richard
time.
Burton may
No,
come back from the grave.
No. I wish I could have gotten Brian Johnston's film that he just did for USA Today, the documentary on the radio station, which runs about 36 minutes.
speaking about documentaries,
That
yes.
may be the surprise of the festival. Who knows? Maybe we can pull that off. That would be great.
Well, if he just put it out, that's definitely
Yeah, it's just more as a bonus for everybody because I don't think everybody has seen the documentary. I mean, it's gotten a lot of views on YouTube. They ran it on the USA Today channel, which is on Roku.
okay.
So there's been a couple places where people have watched it, and it's gotten great response. I mean, it's only been out about a month, but it was a lot of fun to do, and it was.
So we need to contact him
Yeah.
and say, hey.
Knowing Brian, I think if I contacted him, he'd probably be all about it. Be like, "Oh, just figure out a way if we can get it," and you know.
No. We can't do it like for this festival.
Right.
Which
Unfortunately,
we
yeah.
can't. But if it's just come out, then
Yeah.
it can get in the queue for next year.
There you go.
Yes, another great
Doc.
documentary. There's a couple of
speaking of
really
docs.
good ones. Yes. Our buddy Matt Provenzano
Yes.
awesome
Awesome fucking
submitted
film,
a
sorry.
very, very interesting. It is called Welcome to the Theater. Community theater actors talk about their love-hate relationship with an old, dilapidated chapel theater filled with mold, bugs, and a lifetime of memories.
Anybody who's done acting.
In Staten Island.
Yeah, or anywhere. I mean, you've always got that one theater that's exactly like, and you know this as an actor, Hiram. And you've been in a couple places, maybe not exactly like that, but
No,
similar vibe. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Sets.
Okay.
You know,
Sets,
when
yeah.
a movie director says we're going to film here,
Right.
And you know what? We're not working with $1 million budgets. If it's going to be a dilapidated, creepy farmhouse,
Right.
it's going to be a
A dilapidated, creepy farmhouse.
And it's not going to be done up. It's
Right.
going to
No.
be what it is.
Yes.
That's
So
like
you know,
say.
there's a bug challenge. There's a thank you, buddy. I guess my son found me
It's money.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you are now 41 cents richer. Or you're 59 cents poorer. I'm not
Yes,
sure which.
one of the two. But yes, buddy, you're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
funny because when we're watching this festival, watching
This
this
film,
film, we're sitting here thinking, I'm smelling the theater.
Yes,
The way
yeah.
that it's
Of
being
course.
described.
Yeah.
You just know as an actor when you have that moment. It's sort of like all of it. All your senses start to pop at that point because it's like, oh, I've been here. I have
And
been
the
in
film's
this.
also able to build sympathy.
And it's funny.
empathy.
It's
Yeah,
done in
it's-
a humorous way. I mean,
it's hilarious.
They really hit a lot of points. I mean, and some of the actors we've had. Was it Michael Robert Anderson?
Michael Anderson is there, yes.
Anderson. Yeah, and a few other actors in the film have been in other films that we've seen.
Right.
Or
Began in
shown.
that theater.
Yeah.
See, that does
Yeah,
says a
so
lot. Yeah.
it's a real wild ride sometimes watching some of these films and what comes out, what people come up with, and yeah, that is a great doc.
Yes.
It is a great doc.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, you know what? We really hope that people take the time to come and join us for our 10th anniversary. You know what?
Absolutely.
Come celebrate with us. Come celebrate with us, and we promise you that we're working on, as we're working on the 10th, we're also working on the 11th. And we're trying to find more screens. Because if you're a filmmaker, your film deserves to be in a
More
theater.
opportunities, absolutely.
In a theater.
Yes, you're right. And that's the tough part because there aren't as many movie theaters as there were. So what's great about the showroom is, like Robert said, this is an art house theater, small in size but wonderful, like cozy and just really a cool vibe. They supported us from the beginning, basically. I mean, yes, we've had other places that we've shown films and stuff like that, but we really, really, as Hiram said, really strive to keep it at a theater because really that's like the bonus of
Yes.
being in the film and or creating the film and yeah, it's the life of the film. Really.
Yeah, well, who am I? I'm just one person, in the machine. But when I first joined, you guys at the festival, we were doing it at the JSAC, Jersey Shore Arts Center.
That's where the student films.
Right, in Ocean
Florida,
Grove, right.
and we were doing House of Independence. All wonderful places. We've been to other film festivals that have not been in theaters. Wonderful places. There's no begrudging,
Yeah.
the hard
Sure.
work of film festival directors anywhere.
Right.
That being said, to me, the most enjoyable film festivals have been film festivals where either the films that I've been in or I'm watching the film festival in a theater.
Right.
In a theater.
Yeah.
So that's just my personal, whenever possible, I'm going to advocate and I'm going to be pushing, hey, guys, let's try to get this in a movie theater.
Yeah, and Debbie Bonig over at Showroom, who's not the owner, but she has worked with Garden State Film Festival for years. I don't believe she's with them anymore, but has helped us since we started going over there. Prior to the new owners, she was wonderful, a connecting point of helping us reestablish the connection with the people who used to own the theater and now the new owners, and it's just been such a bonus to have her in our corner. So cheers to Debbie. Thank you, Debbie Bonig, for helping us out.
It's funny because we were talking about submissions for the festival, and I got to give a shout out to actor Troy Burbank. On Our Own is on Amazon Prime as we speak. They're getting ready for season 2. Troy actually texted me and goes, "What's up? Is it too late to get into that film festival? Hang on to your shorts for this year."
For this year, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
for next year, no.
Sorry about that,
definitely
Troy.
do
We'd
that.
love to have you on
Yes,
board.
yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Troy's.
And he can come on. He
Yeah.
can come on the podcast. He can come on. I mean, I don't know if he's been on A Game or not.
Oh yeah, no, I was proud to have Troy on there. We had a lot of fun. It was a chance to promote that. He's a former boxer, so I had to ask her the crazy question, knowing that Tony Danza was a boxer. I said, in your prime, at a catch weight of about 170 pounds, who would win the fight? And he just, me.
Right,
You know,
right.
Not even, he didn't flinch.
Yes.
I loved it.
So I have to ask, because in a few minutes we're going to start doing our shout outs and
Sure.
all of that and wrapping it up. But, you were, it sounds corny, but we're very, very proud of you because your first podcast experience was with Hang On To Your Shorts Film Festival.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
Which was wonderful. And now you have since taken this medium through the amazing work of, a Shared Universe Podcast
Yeah.
Studios, and you've created, the A Game. You bring your A
A-Game.
Game all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
so
you. I
How's
mean,
that going, and where is it going?
God, we're approaching 100. That's the crazy
Nice.
part. I'm 95 in. Matter of fact, next, I know you guys are planning. So can we confirm that you guys are next Thursday at 8 p.m.?
We are
All right, so
Thursday.
All right,
sometime,
because
yeah.
what's gonna before that, I encourage all the fans of Hang On to Your Shows to join me at 7 o'clock before I go back on with these guys.
Sure.
My guest is John Kim Fay. Now, John Fay was the lead singer of the '90s alternative band The Caulfields. Interesting story about John. He's written his first book. Pre-sales already have him as a bestseller on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And the book is called The Yin and Yang of It All. It is a very interesting look at being the Asian lead singer of a band. And I've never looked at him. I've always looked at John as like, that's John. That's my buddy John.
Right.
But he's got stories about Eddie Money. He's got stories about so many people that he's had the chance to work with, and also going through the trials and tribulations of being, in a sense, stereotyped, which I think it was totally wrong. That band was so phenomenal.
Yes, they were.
And they never got enough respect. So John's coming back for a third time, but I'm actually very proud to be promoting this book because he's going to be out on a book tour for the entire month. So this will be his first stop along the way. So that'll be next Thursday night at 7
And see,
p.m.
this is why we're so proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
You're rocking it, man. You're rocking it. So
Thank
look,
you.
let me. So he's gonna be in the studio.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
We'll be pumping him in from his home in Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll definitely have him doing that. But the 100th episode, anybody who knows me, there's only one person that could be. It's going to be O'Halloran. It's just a question
Oh
of
no,
when.
that's great. That's great.
Brian, at that point, we'll finally get to talk a little bit more about Clerks 3. And if you haven't seen Clerks 3 yet, please go see the damn film.
Yes.
I've only seen clips.
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
better
it.
see it before I talk with him. Otherwise, I'm in a lot of
Well,
trouble.
Well, yes, and as we know, he is a consummate professional. My friend here, Rob Akampora, and he knows what he's doing, and he has people on that have what it takes to make a great. Look, I'm telling you, I watched you interview Pinfield. I've
Yeah.
watched you interview a couple of other people that I can't name off the top of my head, but actors and people who've been on soaps and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Just a wonderful, wonderful watch.
It has been a wild ride because, and again, it's been word of mouth. I mean, when Bill Timney, who played Alfred Vanderpool in All My Children, comes on because of a friend of mine, he recommends me Liz Vassy. 5 seasons on CSI, and Liz has been been on twice.
Right.
And right now she's got a recurring role in A Million Little Things on ABC. But it's been that word of mouth that's really helped it, or it's just been me being a pain in the ass. I mean, Carol, part of the lead singer of T'Pau, doesn't know me from a hole in the wall, and it was just literally just kind of sending her message. She's like, "Sure, I'll do it." I'm like, "What?
You know who I want you to have on?
Who?"
I want you to have on Casey Webb.
I want that so. That's one. Yeah. Oh, please, Man versus Food. I want Casey so bad.
Yeah, I met him at and I probably talked about this before, and this is what's so cool about it. We're probably just coming in the edge of COVID, or whatever you want to consider that to be, whoever you are. And he was in the store, he was in Whole Foods.
Right.
And I see this guy walk by, and all I could see, because I was wearing a mask and he was wearing a mask, right?
Right.
I see this guy's eyes, and he walks by, and I'm like, why do I know this guy? I mean, have I seen him here at the store before? I don't know. I walk around, I'm checking it out. And I said to my wife, I said, I think that's Casey Webb from Man vs. Food. Right? So she said, well, are you going to say hi to him or not? And of course, my son found out, and he watches the show with me.
Sure.
And loves the show, and has done some challenges as well, you know, like Hot Wing Challenge or whatever with me and stuff like that during COVID. And we met him, and he was the most, not that I haven't met celebs before, but
Right.
he was like the most down-to-earth guy. He was like talking to us about his dad. He was talking about his life. He was talking about, you know, the next season and stuff
Right.
like that. And he's on Instagram, and he's just a really gracious guy and just very cool. So if you ever get an opportunity to get him on, I just think it would be a
If
great
Casey, if you ever see this, I will take it. I will take this one step further because I've been thinking about this. What would be interesting to do with Casey Webb? I'll do the challenge.
Right.
I will do it this way, and this is I thought about this. The perfect way to do this. Pete and Elda's with the pizza in there. They have the ultimate challenge, and it's their extra large pizza. If you can finish it off, you get a T-shirt.
Yes.
I will put it out there. If I don't finish that pie by the end of the interview, Casey, I'll give you $100 to your favorite charity. But if I finish it, it goes to my charity.
Right.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, it could be
that's
fun.
cool. No, it'd be great.
Real quick, my last guest was Joe Cernio, who's been involved in Hang On To Your Shorts with some of his projects before. By the way, go watch that. If you know Joe, we always have a lot of fun. It was his second time coming back on and talking about his short film, Love It, and well worth the time. And since you did mention her, Christine Lincoln, come on. I admit I watched Step by Step. Yeah, I know. There you go. If I can admit that.
A true confession.
Right, on national podcast.
While you're talking, I'm gonna get our final take.
Okay,
Oh,
you
there
do
you
that.
go.
Well, you know what? So that, you know, I acknowledge you and thank you, and
Thank
we
you
are
very
very
much.
proud of you. I'm just going to do my very, very quick shout outs. Huge shout out to one of our directors, one of our board of, Maurice Paramore.
Yes.
He's shooting right now a film, No Turning Back. I've been watching the casting notices, come through, and I'm like, my gosh, I would love to work with him. Right now, I'm in the middle of a busy time, so I can't. But I can't wait for one of his projects and my availability.
Mhm.
And if I could work for
Oh
him,
my
I would
God.
love that.
There you
I would
go.
love that
There you go.
because
Wonderful director, wonderful guy.
I'm sure
Love
he's
our board.
tough as heck, but I want that.
Yeah, no.
Everybody
Yeah.
needs that, I have to give a special shout out to my lady Diana C, Dee. For Christmas, she got me tickets to a band that I never thought I'd ever see, and I loved them. I loved them at first listen. The band Muse. So last 2 Sundays ago, we went to Philadelphia. She got floor seats, and we watched One OK Rock, Evanescence. I love those two bands. Evanescence was also love at first listen, and we finally hit the floor. I've never been on the floor of any major concert ever, and I stand in the middle of that aisle, like that juts out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is my one chance to sit there and see somebody close. She goes, no, come on, honey, I'm taking you to the front. I'm like,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, right. And
She's a
we
very
go,
cool chick.
we go through the far end, and I am lit. I could touch the fence
There you go.
in the front, and it was like an almost religious concert experience. She's just a wonderful person, wonderful. I can't say anything else. And my buddy AJ for being patient and tagging along with me. We are podcasting out of Bellwork, so he has a tennis ball and he's throwing it against the wall right now.
I don't want you to mix and mingle too much.
And he gave you 41 cents, so you got it.
No, yeah, I definitely want my 41 cents. Buddy, you're gonna have to introduce.
Oh,
He
yes.
will when we get to him. You just finish up your speech, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll allow him to do
Well,
that.
no, so and thank you to all the submitters and all the
Yeah.
people that took the time to submit to this year.
Absolutely.
This is not an easy job, but it is amazing. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Thank you.
The toughest job you'll ever love.
There you go.
Yeah, I thought that was Peace Corps.
I think that was either the Peace Corps or the Navy. I don't know. One of the others. Okay, either or. But, yeah, I think it was the Peace Corps, the toughest job you ever loved.
You may have to raise that a little bit so people see what it is.
Only found once in a blue moon. And has been waiting to be taken in.
How about that? It's a special
This is-
occasion.
CBS is called Canadian
Right.
Breakfast Stout by Founders Brewing in Michigan.
Right. And this was not bought last week. This is probably about 3 years old.
That's wonderful.
You decided to open it now?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, well, I've got some other things hidden up my sleeve for the next couple of weeks.
For the next couple of weeks, yes. He's
Because I
he's been saving
stockpiled
up.
stuff like before COVID, and I wasn't drinking during COVID.
Right,
so-
right.
True
So
story,
a few
true
people-
story. Hey Hiram, I'm bringing something over to your house. You can have a bottle, but save the rest. Why? I don't have space.
I collected a lot of stuff. And,
Yeah, so-
and only drink occasionally, and so.
This is an occasion.
This
There
is
you
an
go.
occasion. So this is a wonderful beverage. I love this company. We've often talked to Ming if we're ever going to go out to Michigan, that we definitely not only stop by where he lives and hangs out and hangs around wherever that is.
Right.
That we have to stop by
Founders.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's promised me Fago soda when he goes
Oh,
out there. I mean, I
okay.
got to
Oh,
have that.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had that.
And so Ming, wherever you are, I know you're in Chicago right now, probably messing with people with Malort. God bless you, buddy.
Probably buzzed.
yeah.
Enjoy. There you go.
Love you, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Missing you.
BK, you get the final word.
Ooh.
Well, we soak this
This is
in.
heaven.
Oh man.
It's
That
beautiful.
is so good. Well, look, I just want to say that, again, 10. It's the 10th anniversary of Hang On To Your Shorts. We are having a great time doing the podcast. We want you to enjoy the time with us. Come on down. On the 6th, we will have the time and the dates, or the place, which is definitely going to more than likely be Lovesick. And we really would love it if you came down and hung out. Looking forward to telling about ticket sales for the event, which will be May 7th at the showroom, and the award ceremony will be at Porta in Asbury Park, wonderful Asbury Park, on May 7th. We're looking forward to having a fun time. We always have a great time. And then interacting with all the people that come down and the creators of the festivals and stuff like that. It's just creators of the film. It's just a great time. So yeah, and then we'll be on at some point next week following the A game, more than likely.
Yep.
And so, I
Yes.
guess we'll see you then.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Shout outs to Mello Lello,
Right.
everybody at Great Machines, Purple Cloud, all the wonderful people, the
Maurice
Kramer
Paramore.
brothers who have a movie in.
Maurice
Uh,
Paramore, who doesn't have a movie in but has had movies in for a bit.
Yes,
and our
he's-
sponsors, Smith Group, which is home to Homesick, Lovesick, Portis, Pascal and Sabine, Casa de Monte Cristo, River Street Suites, and what did I say? The bank. The bank.
Yes, Citizens Bank.
Citizens Bank.
Citizens
yes.
Bank.
Yes,
Yes.
and last but certainly not least, as he takes us down, as he wraps us up, thank you, Connor. Really appreciate you, buddy.
I'll take the last word on this just to say follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, get the photos, get our messages, and we look forward to seeing you next week through a shared universe starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Watch us then. Take care.